Welcome to the Arsenal show. We are live, and it's the post-match reaction of Arsenal's 2-1 victory against Nottingham Forest. It's the first game of the season. It was about getting 3 points. It started off very well, and it looked like it was going to be damage limitation for Nottingham Forest. But Arsenal allowed the Forest to get back into the game. They got their confidence up, and actually, you have to give it to Forest. They ended the game well. Didn't put too much pressure on Arsenal. It wasn't too shaky from Arsenal, and it wasn't too much of a squeaky bum time, you could say. However, Arsenal put themselves in a position they didn't need to be. But you'd have to think that as the weeks go on, the performances will get better. They'll be a lot more tidier. They'll be a lot more slicker, and they'll definitely be a lot more ruthless in front of goal. Performances a bit up and down. Good parts from some, not so good from others, and then you can pick out the good parts in their game. But overall, I can't complain about the performance. Not the greatest of second halves, but they got the job done. Comment section is already there. Noah, how you doing? It's Rangers. Yes, how you doing, Rangers? Good to see you there. All right, let's get this started, people. Anyone who's watching on Twitter, make sure you... let me just quickly go to Twitter and say hello to those lot. Anyone who's watching on Twitter, try and come over to KS1 TV on the Arsenal show. If you are watching on TikTok, make sure you get your comments in as well. Dominic is saying, I can't believe Timber came out second half. Yeah, it looks like an injury. It didn't look good. I worry about those injuries, and you've got to be worried about those injuries because he went down unchallenged. It looks like a knee ligament trouble. Yeah, Noah's saying that Arsenal playing terrible in the second half. It did look like knee ligament trouble, the anterior knee ligament at the back of the knee. That's always a worry for me, especially when a player goes down unchallenged. But while we're here, let's get the player ratings in. First of all, Aaron Ramsdale. I mean, there was a couple of shaky moments in terms of distribution. It didn't really have too much to do. There was a couple of good saves from Aaron Ramsdale. One in particular. There wasn't too much. He worries me a little bit on set pieces. Not because I've seen him do anything wrong. It's more so he looks a bit too erratic at the moment. I'd like to see him a lot calmer in defence. A calm goalkeeper will make the rest of people feel a lot calmer around him. So, but I can't knock Aaron Ramsdale's performance today. I'm trying to remember any of the saves that he made. Didn't really have much to do. I'm going to give him a 6. Aaron Ramsdale gets a 6 for me. Did nothing wrong. Didn't have much to do. He gets a 6. What's people on everywhere else giving Aaron Ramsdale? Don't see anyone give any ratings there for Aaron Ramsdale overall. William Saliba. I thought looked tidy in this first half, especially. Saliba is his typical Rolls Royce. It was like his head wasn't in it. I think he looked a bit nervous at points, but only in the second half, which is weird. I don't understand. I hope that getting this other goalkeeper in hasn't worried him too much to the point where he's overthinking his game. Like, he can't be doing that. You'll give him 0.8. Wow, this is like some Opta stats over here, Noah. Savage is giving points. 5.8. Noah's giving the old 5.8 over here for Ramsdale. Shout out to Noah. The game is down. What do you mean the game is down? What's your name on YouTube? KS1 TV. If you want to watch this on YouTube, come over to KS1 TV. Noah's giving a full description. Saliba definitely needs some training and a team talk. 7.8. I feel like Noah plays Football Manager. Saliba. I thought Saliba was composed, especially in the first half. There's a couple of times when it looked like Brennan Johnson might have got through, but he was dealt with it. He kept him quiet. I'm going to give Saliba a 7 today. I don't think there was anything out of this world from Saliba, but I think it was a very good, steady game from Saliba. A bit of a dodgy one today. A completely different back four to what we're used to. Jurrien Timber starting at left back. He looks very good in the first half, calm on the ball. Every time I see Timber play, I like the look of him. I'm very impressed by his play. A couple of nice long balls across the box. Fabrizio. You talk about me? What a guy. Couple of long balls across the pitch. I'm encouraged by him, but then he came off with an injury, unchallenged, which is always a worry. I know there's people out there worried about Timber. I'm worried about Timber. I need to see if there's any news on Jurrien Timber and his debut, but I'm going to give him a 7. I thought it was a solid debut from Jurrien Timber. I can't complain at all. And in at right back today, right back, we had Thomas Partey, who was striking up a deadly midfield partnership with Declan Rice. Although he did start at right back, he played that inverted role, and I thought he played that inverted role pretty well. I think he was there. No, it's Ben White. Ben White. What am I talking about? It's Ben White. Ben White played. It was Ben White, weren't it? Ben White and then Timber. Saliba, Timber, Ben White, and Partey. Yeah, no, Partey. I suppose Partey did play the inverted right back, and Ben White was playing the centre back role. So there, we're carrying on with Partey. Partey moved around. Hopefully, it's just a calf injury, not a knee. It looked like a knee. It looked like the back of the knee, if I'm honest. Partey. I thought Partey looked like he was playing in midfield for most of the game, as opposed to right back. And I thought he looked good. I know people will pick. I know what people are going to do. They're going to pick out the points where Partey lost the ball a couple of times when he a stray pass. But like today's performance from Partey shows me that even though Declan Rice came in, we shouldn't have been looking to sell him. Like it's madness. I think he brings so much to our play, and I think he's an underrated player. I'm going to give Partey a 7. I can't give him an 8 because I think I'd give him a high 7. I don't do 0.7, point anything, but if there was going to be, if we're going to just add a little bit of nuance to this rating, I'm going to say Partey was a high 7. I thought he was very good. I was impressed with him today at right wing back. But then again, like I said, he pretty much played the most of his game in central midfield next to Declan Rice. To the point where I was saying this Gel-off Rice combination is quality. Because Declan Rice was dropping in next to Thomas Partey and it was just working. It just works. Fucking hell. Noah's gone into one. I've missed all these comments. What's he saying? Timber 100% a solid 8.5. Played amazing. But he lost the ball sometimes and that injury. Yeah, I did notice that. And do you know what as well, Noah? I noticed it was like in a like a 5-minute spell, he lost the ball a couple of times. And I wonder if that was down to his injury. Oh, look at that. Oh, what's he saying? Partey deserves a 7.9. What did I just say? Great minds think alike. I was just saying a high 7. 7.9, he was playing brilliant. And Partey deserves a 7.5. Definitely. Yeah. Look, it's I don't do part points, but if I was, like I said, it'd be a high 7. Declan Rice. Declan Rice. Now, people will question the £105 million Arsenal paid for Declan Rice. And when you pay those sorts of fees, yes, people do need to be questioned. However, I think Declan Rice is fully showing why it's worth the investment. Again, nothing spectacular, but we're talking about a player who's only been at the club for just over 3 weeks. Barely knows everyone's name at the ground. Could quite easily go to the ground and still get lost because he doesn't know where everything is. Do you go into the 3 o'clockers? No, I can't. I'm taking up the living room, Scott, as you can see. If there's some evening games, I might do some evening games and some big ones. Sorry. Declan Rice. As I was saying, he's showing why it's worth investment. He's only in second gear, but he's already marshalling. He's already up in that high left where Xhaka would have been placed left last season. And it's not a position he's used to playing. He's learning as well. But every single game, I'm seeing a little bit more of Declan Rice getting better, integrating into the Arsenal team, understanding what Mikel Arteta wants from him. And I'm excited. He gets a 7. Again, it wasn't spectacular, but it was good. And if you're a football fan, like there's a football fans and there's football fans, and when you appreciate footballers, I think you'll appreciate the performance that Declan Rice put in today. I thought it was a solid midfield performance. What's Noah saying? Good to see you back in there, Simon. Oh, it's hard. He shouldn't have played. Simon, did you want to jump on? Did you want to jump on? Oh, it's hard. It's hard. One shouldn't have played that much, and it's probably a nice 7.8 and was playing good. That's all I can say. Mate, he was slick. Declan Rice, Thomas Partey midfield together was beautiful. I don't think we played our best in that game. There we go. There was so much more. Kai Havertz, unbelievable. His movement linking up goes unnoticed. I think that Kai Havertz needs to get used to the pace that Arsenal want to play at. Yeah, and I don't think that's too far off. He also needs to get more confident. You can see he lacks a bit of confidence in his play, because I can see a player that wants to just express himself a bit more, but he seems a bit closed off. Don't worry about that. Yeah, no, don't worry. I will do more. I will definitely do more commentary streams, and I'm going to definitely do all my streams in a commentator's voice. Like I said, it was enjoyable. Yeah, Declan Rice. I'm going to give Declan Rice a 7. As Simon said, Simon's actually saying that Declan Rice and Thomas Partey midfield was unbelievable. Thomas Partey was playing at start. Well, he was inverted. Spent most of the game as a deep line central midfielder, like DM. Like Thomas Partey don't usually play the DM to the point where he's just sitting in front of the defence, but that's what he was doing today. That's what it seems like that he want for that inverted role when Thomas Partey is going to play there, and it worked because Thomas Partey was an extra man in midfield. He's probably nervous from being at such a high-ranking club. Did you know what? Chelsea fans have a similar mentality, slightly less than you'll get at a team like Real Madrid. If a player goes there and they don't fancy him, then the fan base is split very quickly. And I find that they are unforgiving. It takes a lot to pull it back. How do you send a link? I need headphones. Do I need headphones? Yeah, you need a fucking pair of headphones, Si. You've been on here before. I'll send it to your Twitter. Yeah, so sorry people. Got sidetracked. Yeah, just go to your Twitter, Si. And I'll wait for you for the rest of this, for the rest of these ratings. So Arsenal, yeah, no, I thought Declan Rice was very good today. I'm really excited about that partnership with Thomas Partey. Also, I'm excited about what Kai Havertz can do. I think people are going to be very quick to judge Kai Havertz. It'd be interesting to see what the lay of the land is and the comments are saying on Twitter actually. So let's go over to Twitter and let's see what people's thoughts were of the Arsenal performance and players' performance, because one place you can always go to hear what people are saying is on Twitter. And can you see this here? You can see it here. So what's Arsenal and not saying? He's one that's on Arsenal very... Havertz wasn't bad. It's the stats people who are making all these assumptions. If Forest didn't score that transition goal, we won 2-0, this narrative wouldn't be in place. This is the Colossus finding of victim blame. Casual, sorry. This is the casuals finding a victim to blame. What are they saying about Kai Havertz? This is what Chelsea fans warned you about. We're actually finished. This is why some Arsenal fans are fragile. Some Arsenal fans, he had a number on the pitch, doesn't bring much, barely passes, slow, takes forever to reface the ball or shoot. He isn't good. So some people have already made their mind up. This is sadly going to be the narrative everywhere. If we have a bad game. Partey was terrible today, slowed the game down too much, and left the right-hand side open for a goal. White had 2 terrible throw-ins and was poor on the goal too, but no one is talking about them. Please, someone react to this. What? Did he just say Thomas Partey was terrible today? So this is why you can't go to online and try and get thoughts on Kai Havertz's performance today. What's people saying? Work in progress, can see the level of talent and being asked to fill a new role, says adaptation process. Someone says awful. Arsenal fans protecting otherwise don't want to admit Arteta was wrong to sign him. See, the people are too. This is. I'm dumbfounded that someone actually said that Partey was terrible. Crazy. Oh, sorry, Si. I've completely forgotten to send you the link, mate. Completely forgotten to send you the link. There you go. It's in your inbox. Let's have a couple of look at a couple of more comments about the Arsenal game. Let's go to the Arsenal page and let's see what they are saying about the game. Arsenal 3 points on the board. What are the comments saying? It's usually the big names that are first. Linked up Arsenal. Us in the last 10 minutes. He's gone for Unai Emery. We need to really close out games quicker. We score in the first half and then we get too comfortable. What happened last season needs to be what the fuck did you say? 2-1. First game of the season for a win, for the first win of the season. Unfortunately, we couldn't keep a clean sheet. Bukayo Saka and Eddie Nketiah scoring the goals. Love to see it. Hopefully, Timber gets well soon with his injury. Yeah, 100%. Bit of positivity. Not convincing at all. Oh, fucking hell. Just get the 3 points. Some people are always looking for something. Declan Rice, 97 minutes played, 100 and plus touches, 92% passing accuracy, 2 out of 4 long balls completed, 3 shots on target, 1 shot hit the woodwork, 5 ground duels won, 1 aerial duel won, 4 tackles won, 1 interception. Strong start. I thought it was very good today. He looks like he's been playing for Arsenal for a while. How you doing, Simon? Good to have you back. Quickly, just on Declan Rice, what were your thoughts on his game today?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Nice one. It's because I've not got earphones anymore. I sold them.
All right. Pay for his subscription so he could watch the Arsenal.
Yeah, that's how hard it is at the minute. Declan Rice, absolutely mustard. He's only playing in second gear at the minute. And as much as I didn't think with Granit Xhaka that he'd have to settle as long as it took, but it actually shows you with Granit Xhaka and Partey how good those two together really were.
Yeah,
I literally just said that.
It did. But I thought that Partey and Rice have already started to get a connection together. We saw it in the Man City game. I think 2 games that we saw Rice before that. He kind of struggled a little bit. I saw him in one game where after about half an hour, he was blowing out of his arse. Probably because it's not just the physical side of things that he's got to be more involved in with Arsenal. But it's also the mental side of things where you've got to be physically, you've got to be mentally fit as well to play in this Arsenal team under Mikel Arteta's instructions. But that Man City game really made me feel like he's getting to grips with the team, getting to grips with what his job role is, who's going to be where at all times. And the link-up play between him and Thomas Partey, although very simple, it was there and a connection building. And today I think we saw it again. Thomas Partey and Rice, I call it gel off Rice. And I think it could be a match made in heaven. What's your thoughts, Simon?
I love it. I absolutely love it. Declan Rice. People keep telling me, "Oh, you paid well over the odds for him." No, we didn't. We got him for a bargain, and you'll see this season. Yeah. He was absolutely, even though he spent the last 4 years with West Ham, and he's been basically defend. Look after the back four. When he comes to us, he's next to Thomas Partey, and then he realises there's Timber, there's Saliba, there's Gabriel, there's Ben White. Oh, I don't have to defend anymore. And he started going forward more. And then in the second half, Turner made a fantastic save because I thought he hit the post.
Yeah, no, he did.
Brilliant save. And then the cross came over and he tried it on the volley. And I'm thinking, he's going, no, he saved it again. And you could see him looking at it and he's like, tongue out and going, I'm getting close. That goal's coming. That goal is coming. But one shout out that I want to do, and Chelsea fans ain't going to like this, Kai Havertz was the best player in midfield in the first half. The way he moves, he sticks close to Eddie, he sticks close to Thomas, he's next to Ødegaard, he's next to Declan. He even linked up with Timber at one point. He goes unnoticed. He just floats.
What else do you think he can add to his game? Because some people say that he's lethargic in his play. He holds the ball too long. He doesn't release it quicker.
That'll just come in time.
What were you saying?
That'll just come in time. When you watch him with Germany, he does hold the ball longer, and you can see Arteta pointing to him. You can see it on TV and see it in the stadium, pointing to him and telling him, quicker, move it, and he'll get used to it. But then when it was full one-on-one, I knew he weren't going to score because he's not got the legs. He's not that sort of player. But I thought he might have gone for like a cheeky little chip because Turner was coming out of his net. And it was good defending from Forest. I thought Forest did all right, to be honest, in the second half. First half, they couldn't touch the ball. They could not get anywhere. But Timber as well, I call him the unicorn because he's just, Ten Hag, thank you for letting this player go and saying, you know what? I can't guarantee you a starting spot in my squad. You're mad. This guy is the real deal. He is the real deal. You talk about Martinez being number one choice and all that. No. This guy's the unicorn. He can do everything. And then I think I've heard something. The mate messaged me and says his injury was a dead leg. I hope it was. It was.
Okay. It was a dead leg. I mean, if anyone's going to find out what the injury is and how long and what Dewey and Timber had for breakfast, it's this man here, Simon. He's an Arsenal nut. Don't let his voice and him being from Sheffield throw you off. He is Arsenal mental. He's Arsenal crazy. All right, just give your player ratings for Kai Havertz. No, sorry, for Declan Rice.
Declan Rice an 8.
Oh, Simon's giving Declan Rice an 8. And what have you given Thomas Partey?
10.
10.
The way that guy just controls the midfield, he makes it look so easy. Just
but he started off at fullback, didn't he? Didn't he start off at right back?
Yeah, he started at right back, but then you could see the more we were growing into the game, Eddie growing into it, Martinelli, he started coming in a bit more license. He got caught. He got caught twice, but then obviously they didn't catch him again in the first half. Sorry, he came forward twice in the game, and then with Thomas, he just sees things that people don't see. Every cutout, every time Johnson tried getting away, no, not having it, get down. Even a player tried jumping on his back towards the first half, and he just shrugs him off and he's like, yeah, not interested.
By the end of that first half, Arsenal had 10 players in their half. It was cruise control. We need to make sure in future games that we just kill off these games. We had an opportunity at 2-0 up. Yes, the timing of the half didn't really suit us, but we started the second half pretty well. And I feel like we got a little bit complacent. We as Gishan says there, we got too comfortable, and we allowed Nottingham Forest to feel like they had an opportunity to get back into the game. We've got to stop doing that. We did it last season. Because especially in the first half of the season, we were cruising through teams, especially in the first half. And then later on in the games, it was like we was getting a bit sweaty because it's only 1-0 or 2-0. We don't need to do that. We need to start just finishing teams off. We know we can score 3 or 4 or 5 goals against teams. Then do it. Do it.
See, the other thing, Arsenal's mistake last season was starting like a bullet when we were just putting teams away early and then we're having to defend for 70-80% of the game. Mm-hmm. We didn't play at our best today at all. No, did not play at our best. There's so much more to come from this team. Yeah, and then it's like Arteta's realised, same as Pep, Arteta's realised we don't need to go gun-ho every single game to start off with. We cruise control, we manage the game, we handle it, we're 2-0 up at half-time. They're not touching us, they're not lacing the glove on us. And then in the second half, we carried it on again, but then we started getting a bit more relaxed, taking time on the ball, messing it about from the back. Ramsdale, God, getting caught again. But fair play to Ramsdale. He did all right today. He's gonna get better with Reina. People saying that Reina's going to come in and just take Ramsdale's place and he's going to deal with it. Get in the bin. No, he's looking at Reina and he's going, you want to take my spot, dear? You want to take my spot? Ring it on, man.
He's done. But he needs to make sure he has a fine balance of not getting into his head too much. He needs to, yes, the competition's going to pump him up and get him, but he needs to remain composed. What I see with Ramsdale is what I see in young goalkeepers. The confidence which gets them propelled into the position where people are excited about and people are hyping them up. Then they've got to find that balance of not getting too cocky, not believing their hype too much, but still staying confident enough. And he's learning that. He's only 24, and I think people are too quick to get rid of someone or say, "Oh no, they're crap," or point out their weaknesses. He's got such a high bar. There's a reason why they labelled him the most valuable goalkeeper in the world, because of he's 24. He's currently had 2 solid seasons at Arsenal. His kicking's good. It needs to get better. It can get better. His shot stopping's very good. It can get better as well. If you think about all the good points that Aaron Ramsdale's done and take all these good games and take all these good games distribution, that's what you will see when you've got a finished article of Aaron Ramsdale, and he will be outstanding goalkeeper. He will be.
Exactly. And Reina's going to get the best out of it. Reina's not coming to say to him, "I'm taking your spot and you're going to deal with it." No, he's brought you in to basically, because you've got a little bit too comfortable and you've missed your eye on certain things. And Arteta's looked at this, and this is what I love about Arteta. It's mad saying this after a video I did when he was announced. But basically, just looking at Arteta and then looking at him and going, you know what, this manager's ruthless. Anyone that comes in, I guarantee you, right, there's 3 weeks of the window. Someone's coming in on that right-hand side and Saka's looking at it going, I've got my work cut out.
I think he needs someone that's going to
push him,
shake him up a bit. Yeah, I think he does. I think But it's one of them. Who's that person? And I don't
I
think they're
think
looking. I don't think they're
I
looking
think it's
for.
Mohamed Kudus.
I don't think they're looking for a backup. I think they're
No,
looking
they're
for
not. They're
someone who
looking
can
at someone
challenge
to
him.
look at Saka and go, I'm taking your spot.
I think Saka needs someone that he's actually will feel threatened about.
Yes.
Because that will push him to the next level, I think. Noah says Arsenal definitely deserve that win. And Shaka, good to see you again, mate. Arsenal are clear now, he says.
It's a shame it's not worked out for Kieran Tierney, though. I'm good to be Tierney, but this is real ruthless, Arteta's being.
He's ruthless. It said a lot today, bringing on Tomiyasu with Timber on the right. Now, if Timber, with Thomas Partey on the right, because Timber could have quite easily started on that right and been inverted, and that was an opportunity for Kieran Tierney to start on the left. It's against a team who probably would find a classic fullback trouble, because you're stretching the play, you're getting beyond the fullbacks, you're making the fullback think about not only Martinelli but Tierney as well. And it would have been a good opportunity to play Tierney today, but it just didn't. So now it's got me thinking that some of these
Tierney's gone anywhere. Tierney has gone. I've been told he's gone. But it's not nasty. What I was told is basically with Kieran Tierney, he's had a word with Arteta and Edu, he's explained his situation, and Arteta and Edu have gone out of their way to find him the right move. And by doing this, he's got absolute, how can you say it now? Like basically aspirations for those two, because they're looking after him. They're not just saying, you're not part of the squad, sit on the bench. See, the difference with Balogun, and you know how much I've been banging on about Balogun, he is the next Didier Drogba wherever he goes, but he has an attitude problem, and he needs to find the right manager to ground him and say to him, you've had one season in France, mate. Eddie's been sat there for 4 years and waited for his opportunity. As much as Eddie did okay today, I still think we need a striker with Jesus. I'm quite terrified of going into the Champions League and it's Jesus and Eddie rotational. I'm quite nervous with that.
Yeah, the thing is with Balogun, I agree. There's an attitude problem. I like a certain amount of arrogance with a player, but you've got to understand the club that you're at, and he's at Arsenal right now. I totally understand that he's come from France and he's had a good season and he's excited and he wants to carry on his development there. But he's ruled out a loan and he's not willing to sit on the bench and he wants to be a starter. That, for me, spells that you want to leave. So
exactly,
we've got to move. But Arsenal are fully within their rights to turn around and say they want 50 million for him. Because if you look at the market at the moment, that's the value of the player, 50 million. So I don't.
Caicedo at the minute's making me laugh. Is he going to Liverpool? Is he going to Chelsea? He's rejected him. He's rejected that. I'm just confused with that. You're paying massively over the odds for Caicedo, someone that's been proven once in the Premier League, and you want to come to me and say Declan Rice ain't worth 105. Honestly, not being nasty, but get in the bin.
Yeah, I don't think you need to explain yourself there, Si. Akai says, how bad is Timber's injury, and we need Kudus. I thought it was a knee injury, but Simon's saying it's a dead leg. So
they're saying on TNT it was a dead leg, and then I'm seeing stuff on social media saying it's a grade A, like a grade 1. So it's a week or 2 week.
Okay, all right, that's good. All right, let's get on to Havertz's performance. Kai Havertz's performance. What's your thoughts on Kai Havertz's performance today? You said a few good things about him there, Si.
Absolutely love him. Absolutely, because he don't assist or he don't score in every single game and he's 65 million. People want to use that. You don't look at the detail. When you watch Martin Odegaard and you see him control the midfield, just go wherever he wants, picking passes, the balls he were playing through today to Saka and Eddie were just mind-blowing. But people expect Havertz to do that at 65. No, he's been brought in to basically be that aerial guy, to actually bring the ball down, bring everyone closer together. That's why he was moving so close to Martinelli. Then he moved towards Saka. Then he was next to Ødegaard. Then he dropped back and helped out Partey and Rice in like a diamond, and why we suffocated them in midfield. Then he saw every time corners came in, he's on the edge of the box. He's not in the middle. He's not on the towards where Saka's crossing it. He's on the far end, hoping just to be that person that basically knocks it in the back of the net and you don't see it. He's so clever in the way that he plays.
Why do you think there's people out there that will say that he was rubbish today?
Because they'll just look for negatives because he didn't score, because he didn't assist. Oh, he was your striker technically. No, he wasn't. It wasn't at all. He was played in the midfield. Havertz is fantastic at doing what he did at Leverkusen. Balls coming in and just being that danger on the edge of the box. He isn't a striker. Chelsea took the best attacking midfielder and they stuck him as number 9. And now they're wondering why he was whatever he was, a waste of money. No, it's like taking Harry Kane and sticking him in goal. It makes no sense. Havertz is fantastic at being on the edge of the box, just floating around, linking up. It takes pressure off Ødegaard. It also takes pressure off Rice and Partey in midfield to have to do everything. They can just sit there or stand there basically and just watch the game, and then Havertz is doing everything. But nobody sees that. There's only a selected few that I've seen.
Yeah. And you mentioned Martin Ødegaard there. Martin Ødegaard in his first season at Arsenal didn't do what he's doing now with regards to holding onto the ball, getting out of tricky spaces, the step overs, the drag backs, the tricks, the flicks. Martin Ødegaard certainly weren't doing that in his first season. I think Havertz is just trying to find his feet in this Arsenal team. He's not trying too much too soon, because I think he tried that at Chelsea. Havertz is a footballer in a generation where they're very aware of people's opinions about them. I remember when Havertz first joined, the amount of videos that were going around with his long, stray balls that were going into the middle of nowhere, flying off the edge of the pitch, people fucking taking the piss out of him. And I fully believe that he would have that in the back of their mind when he first joins Arsenal. Keep it simple. Don't need people criticising me for stupid things. I can do those things, but let's just keep it simple for now and then find my feet. And he's doing that. I don't think people should get onto him. 65 million, it's nothing in this day and age of football. 65 million or 50 million to 60 million, you're getting a Premier League level player or good level Premier player. Like, it's not the money of the past, the old days. Look, Caicedo been in the Premier League for one season, 111 million. Enzo Fernandez not even been in the Premier League, only played in the Portuguese league for 6 months. People saw him for 3 weeks during the World Cup, 105 million. Silly things going around at the moment, but it's what you've got to play for, players. What rating are you giving Havertz? What rating are you giving Havertz on there, people? What are you giving Havertz?
8.
Havertz side's feeling generous today. Havertz gets an 8 from Simon. Martin Ødegaard saw a lot of hold-up play, trying to find space beyond the defenders. Look, not at his best, but looking like he's finding his pace and finding his position in this new Arsenal team.
Yeah, it's only someone that plays FIFA that watches the first game of the season and goes, I didn't like that performance. I didn't think we didn't run enough. We didn't do this. We didn't do that. No, because we didn't need to. Playing Forest. No offence to Forest. But we're playing Forest. You don't need to just smash 3 goals in 20 minutes and there you go, game done. That's it. It's literally, that's what we did last season. We took teams on at home or away and just killed them off early, gun haul, but then we ended up having to defend more towards the end of the game. I think that's what Arsenal and Arteta have learned.
Yeah, FK saying look, it wasn't pretty, but that shouldn't matter. The first half was good, really exciting, and 2 cracking goals. We dropped in the second half and shouldn't have conceded. Literally, anyone should have stopped their run. Yeah, I know that was poor defending there. 3 points is all that matters. 1 out of 38 done. 100%. I think we shouldn't dwell too much on necessarily the bad points. The bad points looked like a lack of Premier League sharpness with regards to fitness and duration of being able to hold out games and see out games. A lack of ruthlessness, which will come in the coming weeks, which will come with that sharpness as well. I don't think we should dwell too much on the negatives, and definitely, especially for the new players and their Premier League debuts, it's certainly about looking for the positives there. What have you given Martin Odegaard today, Simon?
Probably just a standard 8 again.
8 is your standard?
Yep, pretty much. When you look at that squad, though, today, and you look at the bench, and 4 years ago, the bench was our best 11.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All right. Sorry, Noah. Noah gives Havertz an 8.9. He's very impressive as well. No, what was you impressed with about Havertz? And you've given Martin Odegaard a 7.7. No more, no less. Mate, Noah's going into the Opta stats over here. Bukayo Saka today, Simon.
Oh, God, his goal. Jesus. Even I didn't see that one coming. Wow. Saka, for me, I'm going to standard 8 again. Standard 8. But he does need competition on that right. He is getting tired. He looks like he's getting tired.
Who looks like he's getting tired? Saka, already?
Yeah, he does look like he's getting... His corners were a bit dreadful today. Could hardly beat the first man. And then, as soon as he gets the ball...
He definitely looked tired towards the end.
He's just direct. As soon as he gets the ball, heads up, he's off. He's taking you one, either down the by or he's cutting inside. Mm-hmm. It's like a bit like Martinelli as well. But with Saka, you can see he needs help. He's played way too many games at a kid's age. It's mental.
And lovely goal, though.
Oh, his goal were absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. What have you given him?
8. I'm back.
Noah says Havertz nice defending and running and dribbling was nice. No goals or anything, just a great performance. I can't describe it. Saka definitely an 8.5. I have to say it. I think his performance in the first half was definitely 8. Well, I think we definitely slipped the second half. How long's Tim's injury? I'm hearing Arsenal. It's a dead leg, which is good. Simon's
that's all right.
So that's good news. So it shouldn't be. It should only be a week or so. I've had one of them dead legs. It's not like when at school when you used to get a dead arm. I'm sure no one even knows about that now because you'd probably get expelled for giving someone a dead arm. But yeah, it's not like that sort of dead leg. It's you can't walk for 2 days kind of dead leg. Gabriel Martinelli.
7.
All right. I thought that because he was quite instrumental in that first goal, bombing down the left, and then a lovely little pirouette, which then fell to who did it fall to? Then cut it back. But yeah, a lovely little pirouette into the box, which then the ball ended up falling to I can't remember where it was, and then it was put away in the back of the net by Eddie Nketiah. So, it was a pirouette, and then Eddie Nketiah cleaned up from in between the two defenders and then slotted it away. I think we need to get Martinelli on the ball more. Because when he's on the ball, it's exciting. We don't give him the ball enough. I think he is a victim of the inverted player. And if he hasn't got a player who is someone that links up with him, and Eddie Nketiah is not the kind of player that links up with Martinelli. It's Gabriel Jesus that his game's very in and out. But I like the look of Martinelli on the ball today when he was in it. Again, I think he's going to have a very good season. He looks like he's going to have goals in him. He's direct. He's dangerous, and I think he frightens their defenders.
It does. It terrifies them. But I like his relationship is built up with Declan Rice at the minute.
Yeah,
it gives the give and go with Declan because he knows Declan can slide ball straight into him, and he wants that ball run down the line. That's what he wants.
Yeah. Noah said 7.1 for Martinelli, just a bit shit, but was brilliant sometimes. Then completely shut out. Then comes back. I think it's pretty.
What a comment!
I wouldn't have said a bit shit, but I would have said the bit where he gets shut out and then comes back into the game. Yeah, I think that's a fair comment.
It does electrify, though. It does electrify the Emirates when he's on the ball. People sat next to you just get up and they're on their knees. They're on their feet. Sorry, knowing something's going to happen.
And because that's what it's like. It is like you just assume something's going to happen when he's on the ball. He's a class player. Zander says, I'm nervous for Palace away on Monday next week. I
think Sheffield are winning 2-0 at the minute.
Are they?
I'm sure. Something keeps popping up. I'm in a group chat.
Simon's it's 0-0. Brighton are winning 1-0.
No.
Brighton are winning 1-0. Solly March scored for Brighton. 0-0 at Everton. 0-0 at West Ham versus Bournemouth. Oh, what a day of football. First game back of the first game.
I feel sorry as well for the fans that were trapped outside. You should have thought same as me and my nephew. We were in there 45 minutes before it was due to bleeding kick off.
Yeah, it's one of them, isn't it? Thoughts on Declan Rice? AFTV stuff is saying Justin. Oh my God, these people. The amount of tackles he got into, it was great to see him roaring back when he's being countered. Gives us athleticism we maybe lacked under Xhaka. Now he needs to up his tempo of play and be more brave with his attacking, and he will smash it. I think that's actually a very fair assessment of Declan Rice. But as I said previously, he's just trying to find his feet. He needs to know that if he's going to make that run, Thomas Partey's going to be behind him. He needs to know that I can instinctively, if I'm taking it out of that bit of danger there, I can open up, and if I see a gap, I know that Bukayo Saka's going to be in that gap, or I know that if I spray it to the left, Martinelli's going to be there. It's just getting to know his players there, and once he has that, especially when Jesus is in the team, think about when Jesus drops in deep, and he can play the 1-2s, and then play the other player, bringing Martinelli into the game. It's going to be frightening. It seriously is. I'm really excited to see what Declan Rice can do. So Martinelli gets a 7 from Simon and actually a 7 from Noah as well. Eddie Nketiah with a goal today, asked to come in to play instead of Kai Havertz, who started against Manchester City the other day, and instead of Jesus. And Eddie Nketiah has done it again. He plays a game, he scores a goal. I'm sure people would have thought that Eddie Nketiah would have been sold already, but you can't really ask much more when you've been called upon and you put it in the back of the net side.
Yeah, exactly. For me, I'd give it Eddie Nketiah a 7. He did all right today. Hold up play were good, link up play were good, took his goal well, caused a few problems in the box. I'm not going to give anything like bad towards him with his 2 heading opportunities he had in first half, because one were from a corner and second one were from 2 set pieces where he's got no chance of bloody scoring from there. But yeah, he's all right. He's okay, Eddie. He is what he is on the tin. He'll give you everything for 90 minutes in the game. He might not be the striker that can get you a league title or get you a Champions League or something, but he knows that. I think he knows, Eddie, what he's good and what he isn't at. And this is just my personal opinion, I would sell him and use the money to get a striker, an elite striker that can guarantee me 20 to 25 goals. I think that's what Arsenal need. That's why I'm terrified of Jesus and Eddie rotation, because last season for me, it didn't work as much as I thought it would. But nothing wrong with Eddie. Nothing wrong with him at all. He's an all right kid. No wrong with him whatsoever. He gives everything for the shirt. Doesn't say anything bad. Sits and binds his time. I just get a bit baffled when people say he's the dream number 9. I don't see that.
But you wish
you might see that.
You wish that Balogun would have that sort of patience, though, didn't you?
Balogun's got, for me, Balogun is a better player than Eddie, but he's just got an attitude problem with Balogun. Yeah. One season in France, and he thinks he can start in a Premier League for Arsenal and a Champions League. I guarantee if Balogun played today, he don't score that goal that Eddie does. And that's just because of the attitude that he's got. He thinks he's made it already. But I've watched this kid. I've seen this kid in the 18s. I've seen him in the 21s. I've even been and watched him. And I've told ages ago when on this channel we used Stephen Jerome, I told you all that he was going to be the next Didier Drogba. He has everything. He can finish with left foot, right foot, his head. He's got pace, power, technique, strength. He can shield off any midfield, any defender, Honestly, he's got everything. But the problem with him, and Arteta has tried this with him, he just wants to start. He's a Martial for me. He has all the potential. He doesn't like competition, and he wants to play every single week. If that's what you want, mate, go and help yourself to Monaco. Go to Inter Milan and see how it is.
Yeah, it's not. I don't hold any hard feelings against him. It's just frustrating that you hope that a youngster in the club that you've got high hopes for would have a little bit more patience and bide his time.
Exactly.
But look, if he thinks that he can go to another club and flourish and be the main man, then good luck to him. But yeah, we don't really need that at Arsenal with his attitude. The end of Trossard came on, tried to make a difference. I didn't really feel like there was much difference made. I think by then Nottingham Forest fully were back in the game, and it didn't really. He tried his best to make something happen, but couldn't really get anything ticking. What's your thoughts on Trossard today?
I'm giving him a 9.
Oh yeah,
because I thought he was fantastic when he came on. He just kept everything ticking over. Every time they were pressing us in the second half, he was literally covering one side, covering another side, going into midfield, giving the little 1 and 2s and trying to get us going, trying to hold the ball in the corner. And then, what's his name? I forgot his name now. Tomiyasu decides to just smack it down the other end of the pitch. But then Trossard literally was just keeping it simple, keeping hold of the ball, keeping it ticking over, and then just covering, constantly running back to get the ball, give support to Gabriel, come closer to Saliba. I thought it was fantastic when he came on.
All right, what are you giving him?
9.
9 for Trossard.
He's been amazing in pre-season, that lad.
No, he's been absolutely outstanding in pre-season. Tomiyasu.
5. Kept it standard. Could have given away a penalty towards the end. With him just putting a leg out, but obviously the referee saw what was happening and carried on playing.
And Gabriel, what was the reason for him not starting? Did you hear anything about that one?
Tactical decision. Gabriel doesn't play in a back 3. It don't work. That's why you have Timber, Saliba and White.
Can you ask the reason why he played a back 3?
Because of Havertz. I think Havertz, Rice and Partey. So even though Partey played at right back, he inverted like Zinchenko used to do last season. So he'd come into midfield and give protection to Rice and Havertz and Ødegaard. So it'd suffocate the midfield. And then we'd move to a back 3. So you've got basically Saliba, Timber and White as your back 3. So what Zinchenko did for us was so good last season, and why I call him the best left back in the Premier League, 2 performances, the one against Tottenham away and at home against Manchester United. I haven't seen any left back do those sort of performances where they control the game themselves. But this is what Arteta wants. And I'm looking forward to seeing Timber and Zinchenko as the fullbacks in a back 4. Honestly, we're going to suffocate so many teams this season. It's going to be brilliant to watch.
All right. What have you given for Gabriel?
6.
All right. He went on too long either. Let's quickly go through the comment section before we go. No, you've been an absolute trooper today. Love it. Good. Thank you very much for joining in there, Xander. It's good to see you. Trossard, who are you on TikTok? I'm guessing you came from TikTok, Xander. 7.6 for Gab, 7.4 for Tom. Gab had a minor injury, apparently. Oh, was you asking me? Yeah, I think you was asking me earlier on what the YouTube channel was. All right. So, final thoughts on today's game, Simon. How do you feel about the result, the start of the season, and quickly our up and coming game, which is on Monday?
Well, today's game, I didn't think we'd ever get like 4 or 5, like I saw some people saying. When you got to the ground and you went, oh, we got 5 against these last year, we'll get 5 again. And I'm there shaking my head like this, and they're going, what are you shaking your head for? I goes, because it's the first game of the season. When we played them at home last time, it was halfway through the season. We were already up and running and raring to go. It's the first game of the season. We did all right in first half. I'm happy with how we played. I think we played in second gear all the way through that game. There's so many more levels to go up. There's 3 weeks of the transfer window to go. There's probably maybe 2, 3 signings that can still potentially come in. I'm excited for this season. I cannot wait to watch it. As much as Arsenal fans were trapped outside, bless them, the atmosphere as well was fantastic in the ground. Absolutely electrifying, deafening when Saka's goal went in.
Was you there?
Yeah.
Fucking hell, you got back quick.
I'm at my dad's house.
Oh.
Fucking hell, I've not got a jet here.
The atmosphere was good today then, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. I went with, I took my little nephew. So as much as in a group chat that I'm with, I weren't going to meet up with anyone. It was literally in the ground, straight out the ground, make sure he's okay. He's only 7, bless him. Right. So when they all got trapped outside, I've got photos and everything that I took. It's brilliant.
But they kept the atmosphere from last year. They've kept that going.
Yeah, the Emirates was fantastic. Crowd was brilliant.
Good.
All the ultras at the front, behind the clock end as well, and they got the flags going at the start of it. The crowd constantly. Every time we went forward, it looked like we were going to score. When we were 2-0 up and we kept coming forward, everyone that I'm sat around were just going, 3 and 4's coming here. I'm telling you, look at them. We're on them all the time.
That's what they were saying on TikTok as well. They were like 3, 4, 5-0.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. We were just absolutely suffocating them. They were desperate for half-time whistle.
Yeah. Xander, yeah. I will later tonight. I will be back on TikTok. I'll be doing a live answering questions from there as well, mate. Right. Thank you very much for everyone who's joined us for the post-match reaction and anyone who joined us for the watch-along while I accidentally muted myself and it was silent probably for about 45 minutes. So, yeah, top work there.
I forgot to say to you as well while I'm on here. I saw you on the football terrace other day as well with Terry and all them lot. You kept that one quiet.
It was Terry asked me. I said to Terry I wanted to come on, but that was a few weeks ago. And then he hit me up a week ago, and I wasn't able to come on. And it was kind of like he hit me up again in the afternoon the following week, and I was like, yeah, sweet. So it's kind of a little bit last minute. But no, it was good. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going back on there, man.
I enjoyed your conversation with Tottenham, with debate that you had at Liverpool. I thought that was brilliant.
I felt a bit bad about that one as well, because they all seem like nice lads as well, man. So when I was... see you later, Noah. Thank you very much.
Oh,
so when
Dad.
when he's Scottish. When I was hearing him talk and he was so positive, and I was like, nah, bruv. Nah. You are getting slapped. Your manager who has 0 experience is getting whacked. You're about to lose Harry Kane. You're in big trouble. You're in big trouble. I just had to. I had to say I couldn't just sit there and be nicey.
It was like watching the Joshua fight. I was sat there watching it in front room, going, "Kevin, finish him! What is he talking about?"
Hey, mate, it was a little
Where's
bit.
the optimism coming from?
No, it's crazy. But I suppose as a football fan, you've got to have blind optimism sometimes just to keep yourself sane. All right. Thank you, everyone who's joined us today. Make sure you press that subscribe button if you are new to the stream. If you are a regular, press that like, press that share button, and just press the copy. It's basically the same as pressing share. Don't lean on the door. Kids. If you are on TikTok, thank you for following and moving over to here. Appreciate that. Appreciate your support. Make sure you catch us every Tuesday at 8 o'clock for the Arsenal show. Every Monday at 8 o'clock for the Transfer Exchange show. Going to have a couple of more transfer shows. Hopefully get a couple of top guests on before we move into the season and the Super 6 podcast. Thank you for joining us again, Si. It's been a while. Yeah.
It's going back down memory lane.
Right, don't get emotional. Make me feel sick. All right, peace out.
Unlike Steve, though, I'm not a journalist. That still gets me every time. That every space or every video I watch of a YouTuber. Oh, who said that? Steve K. Oh, he's a top journalist. Him. I'm like, he's read it. He's read it. Fair play to him as well.
I see him. He's on the BBC website quite a lot as well now. So
yeah, he is. That's what I mean.
All right. Catch you later, people. Peace out. Stay safe and wash your hands.